I have a quick question for Matt Cain. Last night at the town hall meeting, Tim Lincecum said that you helped him develop slider. Is it true that he also helped you to develop his changeup? Because you were throwing some awesome Tim Lincecum changeups.
I think so. Yeah, I mean we were playing catch in San Diego, and I've always thrown mine. Sometimes it works, and I throw it, you know, like a little cutter. And with his angle, he repeats, or with his arm angle, he repeats his delivery so good. So I just was like, hey, here, why don't you just throw this for fun? Or, you know, we were just chatting about it, and it just was, I mean, it was nasty. We saw it for the last month and a half, and it was gross. You know, so we play catch together, you know, and that's how you can kind of gauge stuff. You know, he throws his changeup, and I'll throw mine. And I had a good feeling for it, you know, a couple years back, and we just kind of kept working with it, and you know, and he's done a great job of it. Hey, that one was good. Let's try to repeat that finger grip or whatever. You know, so that's something that's fun. We're able to all work together like that.
Pitchers always like to fool around warming up, right, Bruce? You've caught a million of them.
They're worse to play catch.
Aren't they?
You get a bend down, they catch her. Always practicing, which is part of getting better at your craft. And that's what Maddox says, how he developed all those different pitches, playing around playing catch.
All right. Let's see, over here. Yes. I got this question last night on the show. Bruce is managing the All-Star team this year. And it's a good question. How many Giants are going to go to the All-Star game?
That's pressure on the manager, and you know, I'm hoping to take all of them. I do have a lot of say in that, and so hopefully we'll be having a good year, and I can take a lot of Giants. I plan on it, believe me, and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, in the old days, you did have a lot of picks. How many do you actually?
I'm not sure, Marty. I got to look into it because they've changed it. But I will say that how they do it now does take a little pressure off the manager, because in the past, when you didn't take a player or two, you get ripped. And you know, I was fortunate enough to manage the All-Star game in Boston in '99, and he had some tough decisions there with so many different players. But now you're covered between the public voting and the players voting, and so you know, it's not all on me now.
You know, it's funny because we sort of took it for granted that you win the All-Star game and you get the extra game in the World Series, but it's huge. I mean, it was huge that we started the first two games against Texas at home and knew that if we ever had to, God forbid, ever had to come back, that we had games 6 and 7 here. And I sort of took it for granted. Well, the All-Star game, it really doesn't mean that much. But now that I've seen it in action and how important it was to the Giants in winning the World Series, how do you approach managing this thing?
Oh, I'll do the same thing, and I was at the All-Star game last year, helping out Charlie Mango, and he mentioned that, you know, how important it was, and I'm going to be sure to thank Brian McCain for that big hit. Gave us home field advantage, but it's, you know, it's huge, when you open up at home, and there's a lot at stake with this All-Star game. The players, they understand that now. It's just played a little bit different because of this.
Yeah, good. All right, yes, right here in the front.
Matt, congratulations on the birth of your daughter. It's an exciting time in your life. Question for all of you, who do you think is going to be the toughest competition to win the National League West this year for you?
Vida? Come on.
You know, I don't know if the Giants realize this, but when you're world champions, there's a bullseye on your back, man. Everybody's going to be gunning for it. But, you know, I still think it's a race between the Rockies and the Giants, and just kind of throw the darts in there. You can't ever count them out. But San Diego was the front runner, I mean, most of the season, most of the summer in this division, so can't count them out either. But when you're defending world champs, you don't care who's in your division. You know? And now that they're world champs, you have to have that little swagger and say, we're going to lose him.
Yeah, I mean, that's enough said. We'll let Vida do all the talking about it.
So, all right, Bochy, as you look at this West, and just be a little bit analytical about it, I mean, San Diego loses one of their big hitters. They still have all that pitching back, that bullpen comes back. Arizona's added a couple of people, Galarraga, a pitcher, Zach Duke. The Dodgers have added a couple of people. And I think within the next couple of weeks, the Rockies are probably going to have Michael Young from Texas. I think that's going to happen at some point. How do you size up this West? And Vida's right. You're the champion. You're the world champion. You got the swagger. But you always have to evaluate the division a little bit.
Marty, you just did a great job.
Thank you so much. I want to give you some information here. Now you can comment on it.
As I look at it right now, I think you have to look at the Colorado Rockies, with the moves that, they have made and will make. The Dodgers, they stole one of our players there. So they're going to be tough. Powers in Arizona has built up that bullpen and made some changes to the Diamondbacks. And as you mentioned, San Diego, sure, they lost Gonzalez. We couldn't beat them. Their pitching was so tough, too. They were right with our guys, and we passed them at the end as far as that ERA thing. But, they have a good rotation in bullpen. So I think it's going to be a tight division. I really do. I hate to, say it like that, but it will probably go deep in the season before win this. That's how tight it is, and we had to come from behind last year. That's what we have to remind ourselves. This was not easy. It went down to the last game, and so we have to keep reminding ourselves of that, how important the start's going to be, because we open up in LA and then we go to San Diego before we come home.
Boy, good point. Yes. On this side, yeah, let's go, and then we'll come right back.
Bochy, when you were in the car at the parade, sitting next to the World Series trophy, how did you feel?
One of the best feelings I've ever had in life, I'll be honest. We talked about winning the World Series and getting the ring, but that parade was right there with the ring. It's a very emotional day for me and all the players. See how much it impacted, the city and how you guys gave us a gift. Like throwing this parade for us. And, I know a lot of guys broke down at times because it was deafening for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and to have that, happen for us. It was big to have the World Series trophy beside me. It got heavy though, because everybody wanted me to keep holding it up. An hour and a half when I right form just sitting there doing it. It's a beautiful day, a day I'll never forget.
Do you have a picture with the trophy, a separate picture that you have at home now? Did you get one?
Oh yeah, I've got quite a few. Missy, who does our photography, she's always sent me pictures of them, and at some point I'll put them all together. But I haven't had time. Have you, Matt, to really go back and look at all this stuff?